Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Can Do Will Do podcast. I'm Paul Fogarty, and I'm delighted to be joined by Stuart Nealis, who I hope you will have seen my previous post about. He's got a fantastic story to tell, so I'm delighted to have you on. Welcome, Stuart.
Good evening.
Yeah, you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine, all good.
Good, fantastic. So I did actually find out today at work that it's actually National Homeless Day, and it's World Homeless Day and National Mental Health Day. So I thought that was really good timing to have you on. So that's a good start to the day. So happy Homeless Day and Mental Health Day to everybody that might be suffering, or the people that have family and friends that are suffering as well. So fantastic. So thanks again for coming on, Stuart.
No problem.
Before we kick off in earnest, I've got a couple of sort of fun questions to ask you, as I like to start off with. Okay. So what's your favourite biscuit?
Bourbons.
Bourbons, yeah?
Yeah.
Chocolate bourbon.
Yeah.
Who was your famous childhood crush?
I can't even remember. Kelly Brook.
Kelly Brook, yeah, decent, yeah. What 3 words would your secondary school head teacher, headmistress, or master use to describe you?
Easily distracted.
Easily distracted. Yeah. Good. Okay. Fantastic. All right. So we'll start off then. So just so let's go back to your school age and your school time. So talk to me a little bit about you as a child, Stuart.
Yeah, I grew up in a place in Scotland just outside Glasgow. I grew up in a one parent family with an older brother and my mother. My mum was an alcoholic, but eventually she managed to stop the drinking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? I wouldn't say I was an easy child to look after. You know what I mean? I had like all these influences with psychologists and child psychologists and all that. And it was hyperactive. And you know what I mean, at a young age, you know what I mean, I had social workers in my life. You know what I mean? Never really had a stable father figure in my life. You know what I mean? And a social worker says to us one day, "Why don't you try a sport?" And I tried it. So I says, "I'll give it a try," because you know what I mean, I was getting in a lot of trouble even at a young age. And I tried a sport. I tried Greek wrestling, and I found out that I was really quite good at it.
Okay.
I mean? Good. I wrestled for the Scottish team. I've wrestled for the British team at schoolboy age at my weight. I wrestled in the Scottish and the British Championships and whatever else. You know what I mean? But then it comes to the age of 16 where I injured myself. Because I had injured myself, I wasn't training, and I fell back with the local crowd. You know how it is. You know what I mean? Drinking at the weekends, going to school on the Monday. You know what I mean? And very quickly, you know what I mean, drink became a big part of my life. Because I was trying to fill that void, and I filled it with drink. And I wasn't training. At the age of 16, started to get into trouble a lot more. Started to become on the police radar, you know what I mean, for things that were happening within inside my community.
Yeah.
And very quickly that led to like prison sentences, being remanded in custody and whatever else. And I
just go back to you just mentioned your mum there. So sort of growing up, did you have to sort of fend for yourself a lot? Was she sort of unable to maybe be the mother role that other mothers could? Did you have to do sort of care for yourself, care for your brother? How was that situation?
Oh, well, I had an older brother. You know what I mean? Me and my brother never really seen eye to eye. You know what I mean? So I think we had to learn to become very independent quickly. You know what I mean? Because sometimes my mum would get a new boyfriend and she would move out. You know what I mean? And we were only 16 at the time. You know what I mean? And my brother was 18 at the time. And we had to learn how to look after ourselves. You know what I mean? And it was the times when YTSs were about, and I got a YTS working for the regional council, and I was getting money. You know what I mean? And plus, I was making money on the side with doing things and whatever else. You know what I mean? So
did you come out of school with any grades or?
No, I didn't. I didn't come out of school with any grades. You know what I mean? Because I used to be. You know what I mean? I'm dyslexic. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I didn't know how to ask for help at the time. So what I used to do at school was, you know what I mean? I used to misbehave instead of asking for help, so I would get sent out of class and all that. I can't
That was
read.
your way of escaping from it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the YTS then. So what happened from there? Did you get enough money to sort of move out, or?
Well, you know what I mean? I got with a girl at the time thinking that was the answer and whatever else, you know what I mean? But she was an alcoholic as well. And then it became very, very codependent, you know what I mean? We were drinking all the time, you know what I mean? We were on benefits at the time, and I thought, you know what I mean? I thought to myself when my first child was born, you know what I mean? Things would change, but it never, you know what I mean? We were still drinking. My kids were eventually took into care. Well, we weren't really took into care, but we made the choice, you know what I mean, to try and get ourselves help, and the kids would stay with our mum at the time. But it never happened like that.
And how old were you when you had your first child?
Eh?
How old were you when you had your first child?
I think it was 17.
Okay.
Maybe
and how old was your girlfriend? Similar age?
Yeah, she was a couple of years older than me.
Okay.
Then from there on, you know what I mean, we moved around a lot of places, you know what I mean, trying to make a fresh start. But the thing was, you know what I mean, me with my addictive personality went with me.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
That's the thing, isn't it? You'll never get rid of it.
Yeah, I couldn't get rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
We moved to a place and whatever else, man, and drugs started to creep in and whatever else, and I was diagnosed with psychosis, you know what I mean, and I used to try and self-harm, take overdoses and whatever else, and I had this psychiatrist, and the psychiatrist says to us, I'm going to diagnose you with a personality disorder. I says to him, what? I've got a personality, never mind a disorder. You know what I mean? I says to him, can I get picked for that? And he says, I wait there and I'll go and get you the forms. You know what I mean? And he went away, and I was thinking, he's taking a long time. You know what I mean? And he came back with 2 nurses. And then by that time, you know what I mean, they decided to set me in the hospital for a while. You know what I mean? Because we weren't able. Then they had us on like all the medications. You know what I mean? Like Acto, sleeping tablets, Valium, else. But they really never seemed to help. You know what I mean? You know.
Yeah, I think with those places, you know, from my experience when I was in there, very, very briefly, but that place made me feel absolutely worse than I went in there. Like you know, I had a drink and drug issue, etc., etc. And the doctor said to me, "You haven't got a mental health problem. You just like drinking drugs." I went, "Yeah, no, absolutely right. Yeah, I absolutely do." And then by the time you're surrounded by the people that really have got mental health problems, you think, you sometimes you just can't get out of there, can they? You just need to get out of those sort of institutions, but the way out isn't always that easy.
Yeah. So, no, I mean, this went on for years. You know what I mean? I was with that partner. You know what I mean? And it was a very toxic relationship. And whatever else, you know what I mean? And then we moved back to the area. You know what I mean? Where I grew up in. You know what I mean? And by that time, all my friends were taking heroin.
Really? Yeah.
And you know what I mean? And it was like I found out later on. You know what I mean? All my friends had a bet who could see who would get me on heroin first. You know what I mean? And it's like when I tried it, you know what I mean? I thought that's what I was looking for. I thought that was my answer. You know what I mean? I thought that was it. You know what I mean? It made me feel good and whatever else, man. It made me self-medicate all the problems that I had in my life. And then eventually I got put onto a methadone program. You know what I mean? And I was doing well on the methadone, you know what I mean? And I was using heroin. And I was going to my drug worker and I was saying, I want to reduce how many mils of methadone I'm on. And she says, I don't think you're stable enough. I said, well, I've been coming here for almost a year now, and I've gave you a clean sample every time. I don't think you're stable enough. What we'll do is we'll give you away twice a week to see how you are. Then eventually I got it away weekly with me, and I reduced it myself. You know what I mean?
That's amazing. And what sort of age what age were you then, Stuart?
I would say that was from the ages of 26 onwards, and whatever else. And eventually,
where were you living at that point?
Eh?
Where were you living at that point? Wherever you could.
Glasgow, in a place called Cumbernauld. You know what
Okay.
I mean? And I thought flipping. I was doing well. You know what I mean? And it's not that I had to deal with all the stuff that made me take drugs and alcohol in the first time. You know what I mean? So eventually I started using again. And then that relationship with my partner, that broke down. You know what I mean? I was sent to prisons for stupid things and whatever else, man. And I came out, I would have nowhere to stay. And I met somebody in prison who I knew, who I grew up with. He says, you know what I mean? There's always somewhere to stay, you know what I mean? And eventually I found myself homeless, you know what I mean? Sleeping under bridges, you know what I mean? And begging for money in the streets of Glasgow. In Glasgow, in Scotland, they have an epidemic, you know what I mean, of street volume. You know what I mean? I was addicted to everything. You know what I mean? I was addicted to smack, crack, and frosty jackets. I would say I was everything. I couldn't get enough. You know what I mean?
Whatever you could get your hands on.
I'm thinking it was a way, but I was trying to kill myself. You know what I mean? I was taking all these drugs and nothing was happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And what you said you went to prison there, was that for something sort of what did you go to prison for?
See, because it was an alcoholic and I was on street volume. Street volume make you aggressive, mixing them with alcohol and all that. And whatever else, the two of them shouldn't mix, you know what I mean? I'd be arguing with police officers and whatever else, getting done with a stupid police assault or a breach of the peace or drunk and incapable. But I was never incapable, you know what I mean? I looked in my mouth to them. I was always answering back, you know what I mean? You know?
And I suppose with with your Greek wrestling sort of in the background as well, you could, look after yourself and you know how to.
Yeah, I could, you know what I mean? But sometimes, you know what I mean? It's like the heart was taken out of me, man, you know what I mean? And I'd have seen it in a way, you know what I mean, of getting off the streets for a while, you know what I mean? When you're homeless and whatever else, you don't worry about the prison sentence, you know what I mean? You think you're getting 3 meals a day, I'll get a little bit of clean time, you know what I mean? When I'm in prison, whatever else, I'll come back out and I'll do things right. When you're released to prison, you either have to go back to the area where you came from, or not. I mean, you're put into a homeless hostel. You know? And to put into that environment again, round about people, not I mean, who are actively homeless and taking drugs. Eventually, not I mean, it seeps in. It's like a disease in it. It's like gangrene. You know what I mean? At first, it might not be there. You know what I mean? But eventually, it will take hold. You know.
Did you have any sort of inspirations or any dreams sort of growing up as a child or a teenager? What did you sort of want to do? What did you, where did you see yourself as a career?
Look, I didn't have a vision where my life was going. You know what I mean? I thought, not I mean, if I stuck at wrestling and I got that good and whatever else, you know what I mean, that could then take us further. You know what I mean? In it, because you know what I mean. But in my club, I was training a Monday night in the gym, a Tuesday night at the club, a Wednesday night in the gym, a Thursday night at the gym. You know what I mean? And then I would be at a training thing and over the weekend, so it kept me busy. You know what I mean? It kept me active and whatever else.
And that's what you need, isn't it? You need that distraction. You need something else to take your mind off of, that part of your life, which is basically distracting you, isn't it?
Yeah. Not I mean, so not I mean, it was like one of the dreams, but get killed very, very early because of alcohol and drugs. Not I mean, when I get injured, I could have came back from it, but I was like drinking then. Know what I mean? And round about the time, it was like trimazepam, jellies, and all that, and whatever else in Glasgow, Scotland. And I was taking them at the weekend, and they were getting me into trouble as well. You know what I mean? So I didn't go to physiotherapy appointments and all that. You know what I mean? I could have made a comeback, but you know what I mean? You know.
And where what did you get any sort of support, or where was your family at this time when you were sort of living rough and into the drugs? Whereabouts were they? Were they around to help? Or
my mum passed away with cancer. You know
I mean? Dear, I'm sorry.
My gran died of cancer as well. My father, I never really knew. You know what I mean? The last impression I had of him, you know what I mean? I was a 4 or 5 year old kid, and he was taking me out, and he slapped the back of my head, and I fell into a puddle. You know what I mean? And he took me home and told my mum, you know what I mean, but I had jump in the puddle, and that was the last day I seen him. You know what I mean? And
not a good memory.
Yeah, not a good memory. Know what I mean? So I grew up, know what I mean, with the mindset is just, know what I mean, I'll only let people this far in because
Mhm.
eventually, I mean, they're going to hurt me, innit? And I done that. I done that a lot. Know what I mean? I used to just. My mum used to have boyfriends. Know what I mean, and whatever else, and I would let them come so far. Know what I mean? And I would be very guarded about how far I would let them because, from a very young age, I had the impression that they were going to hurt us. Know what I
Mhm.
mean? You know?
So you had your own self-defense mechanisms, and you put that wall up to keep them so far away.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's, I mean, it's not good. Know what I mean? You grow up with that. Know what I mean? And with all the labels that psychologists and psychiatrists had put on me. Know what I
Mhm.
mean?
And
And
that
they
was your
didn't.
coping mechanism, wasn't it? That's how you'd like to cope.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So on the streets then, so talk to me more about that. So how long were you on the streets for?
Well, know what I mean? I think it was over 6 years on and off. Know what I mean? I would get places. Know what I mean? And because of my addiction, I could never keep a place. Know what I mean? I was running up debts. I was running up flipping drug bills and all that and whatever else. And then paranoia would set in. Know what I mean? But people were going to come to my house looking for us and all that and whatever else. And I actually felt safer on the street. Know what I mean?
Mhm.
I could hide amongst society, amongst people. Know what I mean? Who
Mhm.
didn't really care. You know what I mean? I know that sounds crazy,
Yeah.
no, but I did sometimes feel safer on the streets than I did in four walls
Mhm.
because it's just a lie, but I believe. You know what I mean? Innit?
Because you're a free spirit, aren't you? You can you can come and go. You can duck and dive. You've got nowhere no abode that someone can come and find you, like you say. How did you find society treated you being a homeless person on the streets?
That
How did you find society treated you being a homeless person?
don't get us wrong. There was some good people. You know what I mean? Who would try and help you out and all that. And there'd be other people who just walk past you until you get a job. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? And shouting abuse at you and whatever else. You know what I mean? To assault you, just thinking that they were better than you. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I was still a human being. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean? Just but I had chose, you know what I mean? I'd made wrong choices, you know what I mean? And I made wrong choices, but led to where I was. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? And there's like good people all over the place, man, and whatever else. And there was a charity called Street Connect, and they never gave up on us, you know what I mean? And they never gave up on us, you know what I mean? And they always used to say there's a hope for you, you know what I mean? And they used to send us to like rehabs and all that. And I've done their programmes in the BBC half the time. I mean, done it. And it wasn't till flipping that last home that that last bout of homelessness, it really broke me. You know what I mean? Like in the video from James English at Christmas and Ralph man, James says, "No, I mean you were weeks away from death." You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And a couple of days away. Yeah, I was dead. And
Mm-hmm.
I've got that picture on my phone, and I look at it and I say, "That person's dead to me now." You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And I went to a rehab called the Carpenter's Arms in Loughborough in England. You know what I mean? And it was a Christian run rehab. And I knew about God, you know what I mean? Because all the people who helped me were Christians. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a story in the Bible where Jesus goes to the one person who lives amongst the tombs. And he lives amongst the tombs and the dead people. That was me. I lived amongst the dead people. You know what I mean? I lived amongst them. And on every gravestone, you know what I mean, was a dead dream. Something, a vision that I had for my life. You know what I mean? And drugs killed it. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? It wasn't until I met Jesus and we were talking about how far I would let somebody in. And I was working one day and I just heard a voice and it just says, I've never had a problem loving you. It's you letting me love you.
Mm-hmm.
I just broke down in tears. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Things started to change. You know what I mean? I went to Bible college and there was a beautiful girl that sat 6 tables away from me. I didn't think she was going to be my wife. No, no, my else man, and I'm married to her.
Mm-hmm.
No, and she's my biggest cheerleader now.
Mm-hmm.
And she's not scared to give me a slap when I'm doing things right. You know? Yeah.
So that was one of my questions I was going to ask you. So what was the kind of the trigger or the light bulb moment that turned your life around? And from what you said there, it was that
Yeah.
rehab, that
Oh,
Christian rehab.
knowing, just knowing what I was loved, you know what I mean? And I was accepted and you know what I mean? And everything that I had done right up until that moment was forgiven. You know what I mean? And forgiving myself. You know what I mean? And being honest with myself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Really having a look at myself. You know what I mean? And the hardest person, you know what I mean, to say no to is me. You know what I mean? I can't say no to myself. You know what I mean? I couldn't say no to drugs. You know what I mean? And alcohol and whatever else. I've been a life and soul of the party. I would keep the party going for every day if I could. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Be honest with myself. You know what I mean? That goes, I need this help. You know what I mean? I need something. You know what I mean? AA and NA tells you about a higher power. You know what I mean? And God was my higher power. You know what I mean? And since then and whatever else, I became to rely on him. And you know what I mean? I'm more open and I'm more honest, you know what I mean, with people how I feel. You know what I mean? And talk to people. You know what I mean? Instead of like keeping it all to myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So how did you then? What were the next steps then? So after that rehab, and you found Jesus, and you were quite comfortable with yourself. So what was the next steps to getting off the streets then?
Well, the next step was, you know what I mean, I went from rehab, you know what I mean, I went to a place, you know what I mean, it was a leadership academy. So it was like a follow on to Christian teachings and whatever else, you know what I mean. And there I met my wife, you know what I mean. She wasn't my wife at the time, she was just, you know what I mean, somebody who sat 6 tables away from me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I knew her name and that was it. But little did I know, you know what I mean, there was a plan, you know what I mean, there was a plan, and it turned out, you know what I mean, I left there and I moved to a place of supported living, and my wife had her own flat, and then she took on well, and I looked after her for 6 months as a friend, you know what I mean, and she just fell in love with us, you know what I mean, and we got married, what, 3 years ago, you know what I mean, in Greece, and Sadari and Corfu, you know what I mean, we got married out there.
I saw the pictures, it looks amazing, absolutely amazing.
I'd never been on a plane, you know what I mean? She took me on a plane, I love it. You know what I mean? We're never off a plane. Because you know what I mean? Half the people from church go, good to see you back in the country. And I'm like,
when are you off again?
yeah, I'm off in the 13th of November. We're going to Thailand for a few weeks.
Oh, lovely. Yeah, I went to Thailand as a youngster. Yeah, amazing place.
And since I've not been totally that, I've passed my driving test. You know
wow, amazing.
And I've never even had a desire to learn to drive, you know what I mean? Because I was always incapable of driving. You know what I mean? So I passed that 2 years ago now. You know what I mean? So it's good.
That's amazing. So what would you say is your biggest fear at the moment? Do you have like a fear of what keeps you up at night? Anything?
No, I don't have any worries. You know what I mean? I'm quite secure. You know what I mean? I know I've dealt with the issues that I have to deal with. You know what I mean? And I know I have a good network of people round about us. You know what I mean? Who I can turn to for help when I need it. You know what I mean? I don't fear nothing. I don't fear the future anymore. I used to fear the future because when we were on the streets, it'd be like, oh, tomorrow, just let me die in my sleep. You know what I mean? Another day of this. You know what I mean? Another day of flipping doing the same stuff. You know what I mean? And there's a saying that I heard somebody saying, it's not that you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, but you actually get up and do something about it.
Yeah. You've got to want to do it. You know, all these people telling you you've got to do it. You know, psychiatrists, doctors, rehabilitate. You know, you've got to be the one that wants to change, and I think that's the big thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's having that willingness to change, you know. And you know what I mean, when I was talking to James a couple of weeks ago, I says it's like a caterpillar when it goes into a cocoon. You know what I mean? It needs to be a total transformation. It has to change the way it thinks. It has to change the way it looks at things. It has to learn how to fly. Because, you know what I mean, if that caterpillar comes out that cocoon, you know what I mean, with the same mindset as a caterpillar and tries to scurry along the ground and whatever else, it'll be eaten very quickly. You know what I mean? And don't get us wrong. You know what I mean? It's like science says, you know what I mean, if you cut that butterfly out of a cocoon and pull it out, it won't fly because it doesn't have any strength. It needs to struggle. I've had my struggles, you know what I mean? I would like to say it was easy, you know what I mean? But no one ever says to me when I found God and whatever else it'd be easy. You know what I mean? You know,
Mm-hmm.
when I need to struggle, and I think sometimes, you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm free. I'm free from that. I don't dwell on the past and look back. You know what I mean? And say, you know what I mean? What could I have done different? No, no, I don't. You know what I mean?
When was the last time? When was the last time you? How long have you been clean from drinking drugs for?
I think it's almost 7 years now. You know
That's
what I mean?
amazing.
I,
Yeah.
I don't count a day. You know what I mean? Because every day is a new day for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and God says to me every day, man, I wake up with the same thought, and He says, "Today I put before you life and death. You decide." You know what I mean? On the day to day, and I always choose life. You know what I mean? Because life is better than death.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
100%.
I've been, you know what I mean? I never had a job. Never had a job. You know what I mean? Growing up, that YTS was my job, and eventually alcohol and drugs ruined that.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a few jobs now. You know what I mean? But the job what I'm doing just now, you know what I mean, is an adult support worker. I've been in it
Okay.
for,
Well, that's
you
amazing.
know what I mean, and it's rewarding. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I say, my wife's my boss. You know what I mean? And she is.
How's that?
Yeah, it's good. It's rewarding.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think, you know what I mean. I think it's where I'm supposed to be, helping other people with mental health and helping other people, you know what I mean, live a better life, because it's good, you know what I mean? It's rewarding at the end of the day. I have a good relationship with the people I look after. You know what I mean?
And I bet they look up to you because obviously you've been there, you've experienced it, you've walked that walk rather than just a bloke in a suit turning up, talking out of a textbook and saying you do this, you do that. You've been there, you've done it, so that I'm sure they're going to look up to you and think,
I've had all the mental health issues, you know what I mean, innit? No, you're ADHD, you're this, you're that, you know what I mean? I'm like, I never.
mm-hmm.
But I'm not that, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just like drugs and drink, you know what I mean? Drugs and drink wasn't me, but people used to identify me, you know what I mean? Oh, there's Stuart, he's an alcoholic, there's Stuart, he's a junkie.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's just something I done.
Mm-hmm.
No, just something I done. It wasn't me. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I got my way and whatever else, and I found out who I'm truly am. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm good. You know what I mean? Everyone loves working with me. You know what I mean? And there's lots of people in the company who say they want me to be their support worker. I mean, I'm like,
Really?
yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I can imagine that.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can help a lot of people, Stuart, and that's amazing. So what does your life look like now? So you say you're working as a support worker. What's your sort of day-to-day or week-to-week work life look like now?
Well,
I'm sure it's very different from...
I have to, you know what I mean? I have to find this balance, you know what I mean? So I work 3.5 days a week, you know what I mean? So I work Saturday, Sunday, Monday off, a Tuesday, and I work Fridays. That's it. You know what I mean? And have a Wednesday and a Thursday off. It's finding that right balance for me.
Sure.
You know, I don't feel overwhelmed. You know,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Yeah.
And what are you looking forward to in the future? What goals or plans have you got, short term or long term?
I don't try to predict the future. Can't predict the future. You know what I mean? I'm looking forward, you know what I mean, to go on my holidays and whatever else. And I still really have this heart, you know what I mean, to work with people with addiction and to work with people who are homeless. You know what I mean? I was a street pastor for a little while. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I used to go out and help people, man, and whatever else. Where I stay in Loughborough, there's a few homeless people and they all know me. You know what I mean? And I talk to them and I say to them, look, man, it doesn't need to be like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It doesn't need to be, it doesn't need to be the way it is. You know what I mean? Ain't it? And it's good, you know what I mean? So maybe in the future, man, I would like to maybe work in some sort of support work, you know what I mean? Helping people with addiction and homelessness, man, and helping them change the way that they think about themselves. You know what I mean? Because being in amongst people who are homeless, man, they have a very narrow mindset. They've accepted that's what their life's going to be. That's it. You know what I mean? Because they've tried to go to their local councils and they're not willing to help them because of the amount of people what are homeless. You know what I mean? And in Scotland, you know what I mean? It's illegal to be homeless and sleep in doorways. But you know what I mean? And it's illegal for the council not to help them. You know what I mean? But let it happen day in and day out. You You know what I mean? I was back in Glasgow last month, and I went a walk around Glasgow and whatever else, and there's not anyone what I don't know. You know what I mean? Still alive or got this
Really?
about. You know what I mean? It's all new faces. You know what I mean? You know?
That's sad, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is really, really sad.
Yeah. But no, I mean, it's like what you said there. You know what I mean? People need to change. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You need to change. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of good people who help the homeless and all that and whatever else and such and such. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I think, you know what I mean, you need to deal with that mindset. You need to deal with the addiction before you hustle. You know what I mean? You know? Because
For me, you've got to come to terms with that you've got an addiction, you've got a problem.
yeah.
For me, I didn't come to terms that I had a drink problem until well after I'd stopped drinking. At the time when I was drinking, it was just the normal. We were going out to the pub. My mates would have a few beers. They'd go home. I wouldn't. I would go to the offie, get a bottle of vodka, and then go back to my flat.
Yeah.
But for me, that was just that. I thought I was just, one of my mates. It was only afterwards I realised actually that's not normal.
That isn't
And
normal.
for me, as soon as I stopped drinking, my life became in my control.
Yeah.
When I was drinking and doing all the other stuff I was doing, my life wasn't in my control. I had no control over it. The drink and the drugs controlled my life.
Yeah.
Because I'd be okay for a little bit, and then whatever I'd do, upset someone, whatever bad thing would happen, I'd lose that job, I'd lose that relationship, I'd lose that accommodation, start again. Things look okay. But now I'm free. My life is my life, and I'm sure you feel the same, that you feel in complete control of it.
Really that one, living life on life's terms, innit? You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean, innit? And
Yeah.
not that, like I was saying, I've had my struggles, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And normally I would have run away and I would have ran back and I would have found comfort in a bottle or a drug.
Mm-hmm.
You know? But, you know what I mean? I stand here today and I face my problems, you know what I mean? I'm not scared of myself, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that. It's good just to sit here with freedom, you know what I mean, and be in the right mind. You know what I mean? Ain't it? And
Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
Life's good. Life's
good.
You just gotta, it's there for living.
Yeah.
Travel the world, do the things, go to Thailand. It's all there. It's all within your grasp if you want it. You've got to want it.
Yeah, it's achievable. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And it's not that. You know what I mean? It's like, but living on the streets, man. I think it gets you a place where you feel defeated. You know what I mean? You feel that's it. You know what I mean? There's no way. There's no hope. There's no glimmer of getting out now. You know what I mean? It wasn't until some people got round about and like, doesn't he beat this? You know what I mean? I've tried this programme, I've tried that programme, and no, it never worked last time. You know what I mean? Like I said to you, that being homeless at Christmas, it broke me. It broke. You know what I mean? It brought me to rock bottom. You know what I mean? And once you hit rock bottom, only way you's up.
Absolutely.
And it only way is up, and things are on the way up. You know what I mean? And it's like sometimes when you watch a boxing match, you know what I mean, and the guy's getting hammered, his mindset, he's defeated. You know what I mean? It isn't till he goes back to his corner and goes back to the corner, and the corner's like, what are you doing? You're losing it here. You know what I mean? And I've got good people in my corner. You know what I mean? People like my wife, I can talk to her about things and all that and whatever else. She don't like gives me a slap and says stop being stupid, but that's I mean
that's what they're there for.
I know. So,
what advice have you got, Stuart, for anybody that's perhaps, on the streets or maybe, struggling with addiction? What other advice have you got with anybody that's really struggling at the moment that you could help them with? What advice would you give them?
I think the biggest thing is not. I mean, don't be scared to ask for help. Don't be scared. Know what I mean? To ask for help. Know what I mean? There's always somebody out there willing to help you. There's always someone. Know what I mean? Who's came through it. Know what I mean? Who can help you? Who can steer you in the right direction? Know what I mean? It doesn't need to be like that. Know what I mean? Know what I mean? And the thing about hope, know what I mean, for a better future, it never disappoints you. You know what I mean? It never disappoints you. Hope never disappoints. You know what I mean? And just be willing, you know what I mean, to change. You know what I mean? I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's hard. You know what I mean? You have to stand and be honest with yourself. You know what I mean? It's hard, but you need to get rid of all the characters and all the mindsets and all the things what were in you that made you do the things you done. It's no easy. You know what I mean? But there's always somebody there, man, who's gonna wipe away tears for you and say, look, we've got this. You know what I mean, innit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean,
You need
innit?
someone to, be your support worker and be your cheerleader.
Yeah.
So did you move? So just going back to, did you move away out of the area? Did that help? So for me, moving away from all of the old haunts, all of the old people.
Moving away, you know what I mean, geography was good. You know what I mean, as well. Moving away, man, my brilliant. Like I said, I went to rehab. You know what I mean? There's rehabs in Scotland and my brilliant, man. But you know what I mean? Sometimes to take yourself away, put a bit of distance between you and your problems, where you can think about things and my brilliant. And after rehab, man, I went to a leadership academy where I met my wife. And it was just about more time, you know what I mean, to get myself right to go back to Glasgow. But little did I know that I was going to marry this person. I was going to settle in England. I was going to have a job. You know what I mean? I've got two crazy chihuahuas. You know what I mean? Who think they're flipping Rottweilers. I'm the crazy in my neighbourhood. You know what I mean? In my neighbourhood, you know what I mean? I'm the crazy Scottish guy with two chihuahuas. You know what I mean? No,
That's what you're known as.
I had a plan to go back to Scotland, you know what I mean? But sometimes, you know what I mean, our plans, you know what I mean, don't always work out. You know what I mean? You know, I've been in rehab many a times. I used to say to myself, "Oh, it's all right. I'll leave when the programme finishes. When I've been there for 12 months, I'll leave. And you know what? I'm not going to take the drugs. I'm just going to sell the drugs. You know what I mean? And that's my way of planning. You know what I mean? And look where it goes. You know? Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Stuart, I could talk to you all night.
Yeah.
What else have I got on my list of questions? What's one thing that people are generally surprised to find out about you? What thing?
People look at me and they don't. People look at me and, you know what I mean? I go to church. You know what I mean? And not everyone knows my story. You know what I mean? They don't know where I've came from. They just know me as Stuart, who's married.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sarah. And they're surprised when I show them that picture. You know what I mean? And me being homeless on the streets and all that and everything else. And like, is that you? And I go, yeah, that's me. You know what I mean? And they'd be surprised. You know what I mean? Not even surprised. You know what I mean? Now how I actually made out it. You know? But I done that when I done that thing with James. You know what I mean? After it, I had so many people coming up to us, man, and saying, well done. You know what I mean? Yeah, it was 100% myself, but it was also 100% God. You know what I mean? I couldn't get myself out of it without that higher power. You know what I mean? I couldn't get myself out of it. I had tried, like I was saying, I tried the methadone programs, you know what I mean, and flipping everywhere else to get myself out of it. It had to be realization, you know what I mean? But I need somebody who's bigger than me to get me out of this. I need somebody to take me, you know what I mean? And now that I've made him my Lord and Saviour, you know what I mean? I go to church, I'm a street pastor. I'm actually a bit tying that, wind that down. I was a street pastor for a while, you know what I mean? You know, so it's that realisation, you know what I mean? I'm no Superman, you know what I mean? I need somebody who's bigger than me to get me out of it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Like I say, that, you know, everybody might need that person, that conversation, that chat, that moment, just to, you know, just to want to change.
Yeah. And people are surprised, you know what I mean? They're like, wow, how did you do it? And I say still to this day, only God knows. I don't know, man. I was in it. I was there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know?
Did you ever think, you know, God would be the answer previously? Did you ever sort of been to any fellowships or anything previously? Was this a different one, or?
Yeah, well, I had been to Christian rehabs and all that. You know what I mean? I had a lot of Christian friends. You know what I mean? And I knew about God. I knew God and all that and the else, man. But that was it. I knew. But that's just it. That's how far. That's all I wanted. I knew about God. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I talked about being guarded myself. You know what I mean? Because I was like, this guy's going to hurt me eventually. You know what I mean? God, going to hurt me. You know what I mean? And it wasn't until flipping I let God in that things started to change. You know what I mean? There's a scripture that says, it's only God that gives you the right to be successful. And it was, you know what I mean? When I says, right, God, you know what I mean, I'll let you love me, things started to change.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't bound for everything had changed, but wee things every day, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Innit? Like, opening, it's like your eyes are open for the first time, you see the colour green. It looks mm-hmm. greener. Then the mm-hmm. next day, it's something new that you've noticed. And then I started to work on myself. I started to get rid of all these mindsets, all these things, all these little prisons that I had set up in my head and all that. You know, all these little like things that I had to take charge of and say, you know what I mean, when it become, but you're this, you're that, this is what you were. I'm like, no, I'm not that. You know what I mean? I'm Stuart, you know what I mean? I'm going to be this, I want to do that. Mm-hmm. You know, it's taking their thoughts captive, you know what I mean? Instead of letting them take you captive. You know? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know how many times my stinking thinking has got me to somewhere where I shouldn't be. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Thinking it's a good idea. No, not a good idea. You know what I mean?
And how's your mental health now?
Absolutely fine. You know what I mean? And the thing is, you know what I mean? The thing is, all the things that doctors and all that says I had, you know what I mean, like personality disorders, you know what I mean, drug and alcohol, psychosis and whatever. My mind is where it should be. You know what I mean? I'm perfectly sound. I may have a touch of ADHD, but I mean, it's like crazy. You know what I mean? But, that's it. You know what I mean? Since I've stopped all the drugs, man, and positive thinking, the way I think, you know what I mean? And not giving up, innit? And things.
Mm-hmm. You know? Positive mindset.
Yeah.
Positive mindset can get you a long way. And whatever you want to do, if you keep positive, can do, will do, and you know, just keep going.
And being around about people, what I mean, who not I mean, who are only scared to give you a push forward, not I mean, if they think on anywhere. No, come on, not I mean, come on, we can do that. You know, not I mean,
having the right people around you that can push you in the right direction, but can also pull you back if needs be.
Yeah, because there's I hate the Bible again, innit? It says, bad company corrupts good character. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's wrong. I can talk to homeless people. I can talk to people in addiction and all that. But I ain't going to sit with them. You know what I mean? Eventually, you know what I mean? Their bad character will corrupt me. Mm-hmm. It's like going to McDonald's and just sitting there. Eventually, you'll buy a burger, won't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I can speak to them. I can talk to people. You know what I mean? I can talk to the homeless and all that. You know what I mean? Tell them. You know what I mean? But could they go and sit in a crack then? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the difference, isn't it? Putting yourself in that position where would old habits come back? Yeah,
and it's not that I can go out for nice meals and all that, my real man, because that desire and that bit of my brain, you know what I mean, the alcohol, man, you know what I mean, it's gone now. You know what I mean? I don't have a desire for it. You know what I mean? I don't have a for it.
That's the same as me. I can go to pubs, I can go to clubs, I can go to whatever, I can go to venues where there's free drink. It doesn't bother me because to me, the life I've got now, 100%, there's no way drink is going to come into my life and ruin it. So, it doesn't, and people say to me, does it bother you? Does it bother you that people are drinking? And no, because I just know that for my body and for where I am, it just doesn't agree. I can't do it.
It's down to you as well, you know what I mean? Some of the best times, man, I've had, man, it's been sober because I remember them. You know what I mean?
You don't feel crap the next day. You don't wake up thinking, oh my God, what have I done? Who have I upset? Blah, 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 blah. None of that. Just wake up, clear-headed, go again.
It's like, I used to call it the fearsies. I'd be scared to wake up the next day, but what have I done last night? And your pal's like, you've done this and you've done that. And you're like, what? I never done that. And then they'd be showing you video evidence. Like, all right.
Bad news, isn't it? Bad news. Not good. Okay. I mean, I can't believe we've been talking for 45 minutes. The time's absolutely flown by, but it's been amazing. So yeah, so what's next for Stuart? What's next for Stuart?
In my head, I'm not everywhere else, man. I see a future. You know what I mean? I'm married. You know what I mean? I've got 2 dogs. You know what I mean? I love travelling. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? My story can help other people. You know what I mean? Turn my mess into a message in it. You know what I mean? And help them. Maybe in the future, come back into education, getting some qualifications where I can help addicts and people with addictions. You know what I mean? But I'm quite happy where I'm at right now. I'm quite happy working 3 days, 3.5 days. I'm looking after other people, paying back, you know what I mean, into their lives. You know?
Yeah, that's really, really good.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, well, hopefully, this podcast and this story, once it's out on YouTube, will help others, help inspire other people that are maybe struggling as well. So I really, really hope that it does. So unless you've got anything else, Stuart, we'll wrap it up.
Right.
Thank you again for taking 45 minutes out of this Thursday evening to come and talk to me. It's been really, really useful. Like I say, the time has flown.
Right.
So yeah, thanks very much.
Bye.
Thank you very much for watching the latest video from the Can Do, Will Do podcast. In order for me to be able to reach more and more people and to inspire more and more people, I'd really love it if you could just go onto the YouTube channel, subscribe, like the video, and then this will allow me to be able to reach a bigger audience and inspire more and more people. Thank you very much for watching, and see you again next time.